Hey everybody, who do we got here? The one, the only Ted. You guys remember Ted, right? Who's that guy over there? Over there, that was doing all sorts of naughty stuff, trying to bite me, and outside trying to bite the girls. So Ted is pretty serious customer, highly anxious guy. You guys have been kind of watching his progress as we've been working with him. We've had his muzzle on for most of the work that we've been doing with him. And he's, like I said, highly anxious, really edgy, very insecure. And so you saw all that kind of come out and channeled, and how he's kind of manifested all of his coping skills in some really crappy ways with what he's been doing with the aggressive stuff. So anyways, I know you guys want to see more process, so here we are sharing a little more process, a little nighttime training here, and just working some very simple basic stuff with Ted here, and that's just recall to place, recall to place, recall to place. But this is our first official session sans muzzle. So besides this, we've been like muzzling him up to work just to make sure we're in a really good spot. We're really trying to feel that out and make sure he was safe. Now we're feeling good about it, using a little bit of his own food. Once again, you know, I use food whenever we're dealing with human aggressive dogs to build a bridge with that. So he's on e-collar and food, or he's on e-collar and eating food, or you know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, it's very early stages, so stuff's gonna be a little messy. He's got a long line on, and you know, we'll just kind of see how we do. It's gonna be awkward to try and like hold the e-collar, do this, and pay him with food. So we'll check it out. We'll see what we get here. We're adventurous, right? Ted, come. Come on, bud. Come. Place. Good. Marked it with good. And oh boy, he's distracted because there's another dog training in that room right there. You can hear Miss Henri. So now, put this back in the other hand. E-collar's in this hand. Where's he at? Look, it's got his name on it. Just in case he forgets who he is, he can check in. Nope. There we go. So once again, he's got a long line on. If I was really concerned about him, as far as like, if I felt like we were still in a danger zone with him, I would have him on the long line in a dominant dog collar, which would be kind of my emergency brake safety valve if I felt like he was on the precipice of going after me. I don't feel like he's there anymore, so I've just got him on a martingale and the long line. So that's the judgment call that we make as we kind of move through the process. It's not a big deal. I could have him on a dominant dog collar, but what sometimes happens is they'll step on it and they'll self-correct and things like that. So if we don't need it, it's cool to not have to have it, but it's really cool to have it if you need it. Hope that makes sense. Ted, come. Come on, bud. Come. Nope. So, come. E-collar. Come. Place. Come. Place. Good. So I'm not asking for a sit or a down on place right now, just that he goes to it. We'll carve that out in a little while. We'll make sure that he's downing on this automatically, and we'll make sure he's sitting in other places like on the floor and stuff like that. But you saw him get distracted over there. He also knows that I'm distracted. It's a super common thing when you start talking to a camera like this, whether it's on a walk or in a training session. Dogs are so smart. They're like, you're not paying attention to me. How about I just go check this out? Even though I gave him a command, he's still like, they just know. So it's fascinating to see these little moments where they make decisions based on what's cooking. He's at 7 right now, and so we're just kind of carving this up and making some stuff happen. But he looks a heck of a lot better than the guy I met a few days ago. Ted, come. Good boy. Place. Good. Marked it with good once he was there. And then he's a little bit of takes food a little bit hard. So if you see how I've got the food like this, I'm making sure that he has to there we go. Making sure he has to be very delicate in the way he takes that, because especially anxious dogs, they're not thinking about how they're taking the food. they're just like, their minds are so many places. They're just like, boom, they'll just like, you know, alligator the food or whatever they call it. But they'll just like, just snap and grab the food. Not like not hurt you, but it'll just like be rough on your fingers. So I'm trying to cultivate like mindfulness for him in all contexts. Mindfulness, how you come out of the crate. Mindfulness, how you move on the threshold. Mindfulness on the walk. Mindfulness, how you take the food. Mindfulness everywhere. Nope. So we got a break. Nope. E-collar correction, place. And that little sound he made wasn't from the e-collar. The e-collar was actually off at that point. I don't know what the heck that sound was. It was almost like a cough. But he was corrected when he was over there. Nope. So super rough, right? You see how distracted he is by everything going on. See, like just, he's not like distracted, like, oh, that's cool. He's concerned about stuff. Ted, come. Good. And I'm gonna just move this placemat. There we go. Good. You actually did a great job. Good boy. Because the place is a little bit pinned back here. And then once again, there we go. He only gets it when he takes it the nice way. So the placemat, when he kicked it way back here. So I was gonna move it out for him so I could actually give some body position stuff, like when, especially early stages of doing e-collar work with dogs, our body's the magnet, so we'll position our bodies in places to give the dogs information along with the pressure from the e-collar where we want them to go if we're not holding a line to give them that information, right? So right now I'm not holding a line or a leash, so if I want to tell them I don't want you there, and when I'm saying place, I need you to be over here or come this direction, then I move my body that way. And because the mat is kind of kicked back, I didn't really have a lot of space to kind of dance around and give them information with that, but he did an awesome job. Now the alternative is I could stand in the same place and I could use the long line and I could guide him on. I could be on the e-collar pressure and guide him on with the long line. But when a dog is kind of at this place where I think they know more stuff, then I start letting go of the line and I start doing more body stuff, because that's where I want the dog to eventually get us, to where the body is the cue, and well, actually the target that we're looking for them to utilize is the cue. But the body's going to be information about where I need a dog to go and things like that, rather than a leash, because we want to get rid of that. Anyways, a couple more reps and then we'll wrap with this dude. Ted, come. Good boy. Place. Good. And we did work on, good boy. See, so he's trying to shark me. That's the word I was looking for. No. There you go. So we did work on sits outside. So he's been patterned on e-collar for sits, but not in here. Once again, I'm not asking for them in here, but he's kind of defaulting to them, probably because it's one of the few things that we've worked on so far is heel, sit, recall, place, things like that. Keep it down there, ladies. We're trying to make a video. Okay. As long as you're making enough for everybody, we're okay. So I'm moving slow because we're at that point in this game where it's still really early for this guy. He's super anxious, incredibly easily distracted. So if I move really fast away, it's going to be a really gigantic challenge for him focus-wise, making a distinction to hold himself there even as my body moves away. So I'm trying to make it, this is like kindergarten for him, so I really want to make it easy as we're kind of moving through the process. Eventually, I'll start moving faster and faster and giving him less information and holding him more accountable. But right now, when he's in kindergarten, first grade, I'm going to hold his hand, show him how to do it. Ted, come. Good boy. Place. Good. Nope. On the button. Place. Good. And that good isn't a reward. That good is simply a marker. So, there we go. So that's pretty cool. Nope. Now, if I would have had this in my hand instead of my pocket, because I'm going back and forth between holding a camera, giving food, and using the e-collar, I would have corrected him right there with the e-collar for that. But instead, I just used a verbal no. So, anyways, that's just a little bit of the early work with Mr. Ted. And hi, bud. Handsome guy. But you can see he's just an anxious dude, anxious wreck right now. And so just really happy to see that he's off muzzle. He's not doing any of this. He's not biting anybody, and he's slowly moving into a better space. and slowly calming down, but it's going to take a while. He's definitely not one of those dudes that's just like, oh, cool, here's some training, and now I'm like in the groove. He's one of those guys he's worried about a lot of stuff. So got our work cut out with us got our work cut out for us with him, but he's come along nicely, and we're happy with all of his work so far. Nice work, Ted. Thanks, bud.